Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of my podcast, Trending Topics with BB. As you can see, I have a wonderful guest. I kind of teased
Hello.
this on social media in the past week. There was an epic, actually, I can't believe it's been a week since everything. But if people don't know, and those that haven't watched my previous episode, the Jonas Brothers are on tour, and I'm a fan, and Kelly is also a fan. So we are going to talk a little bit about the fact that we went to the Las Vegas show in the over this past previous week. So welcome to my podcast, Kelly.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, talk all things Jonas, all things Vegas. Like to find
Yeah,
another Jonas fan is so exciting to me. So thank you.
welcome. Thank you. So I guess where we're going to start is a little bit of background for those that, again, this is your first episode, but I'm like a couple months younger than Kevin, so like I'm in my 30s. Late 30s, almost 40. Oh boy. But when the first time around, about 20 years ago, when they hit, I was a senior in high school getting ready to go to college. So I was aware of them, saw them on TRL, saw the Year 3000 video a billion times like everybody else did. But I wasn't like, I was in that transition period where I wasn't like, this is my music. I was into a lot of other music. Nothing against him. It just wasn't like it wasn't marketed towards my demographic at the time. It was very like they were marketed younger. So
Mhm.
cut to 2019, um, and I'm just exploring, and of course watch a lot of like TV and see the announcement that they had a documentary come out, and I was like, cool. So I tuned into the documentary, which if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime, called Chasing Happiness. Watch the documentary, watch a bunch of interviews, and then they announced their big reunion comeback with their new album, Happiness Begins. And from that moment on, I was like, I'm a big fan because Happiness Begins is probably my favorite album. I know I'm not like an OG. I love the OG music, but I'm more like newer years. Um, so that's kind of how I got into it. I've been going to their tour ever since Happiness Begins tour, the tour after that, right once we opened up after the pandemic, I went to Vegas for those shows. So I've been going ever since. So it's been cool to see. And then so to cut to the last year, well, since August, since their new album Greetings from Your Hometown came out, been following the tour and was I actually unable to go to the Phoenix show because that's where I live. But when they extended the tour and announced Vegas, I was like, I really want to go. So roundabout way, kind of talk about like your journey as a fan and kind of how we got to Vegas and talking about it now.
Of course. So I'm actually one of like the younger fans. Like I'm only 22, so that means when they first formed, I was like 2, and then so I grew up like with Camp Rock and Jonas, so I knew about them. But once I was actually old enough to like enjoy their music, they were separated already. So I was more of like an individual fan. I was a Nick fan and a DNCE fan. So I never really thought I would get like the chance to see them again. Plus, like my boy band growing up was One Direction. So I was like a big One Direction fan. And then one day I see that Nick had posted the review for Sucker, and I was like, oh, like, I thought if it's just gonna be a song, and I listened to that song, and from there on, I became the biggest Jonas Brothers fan. It's funny because Happiness Begins is also my favorite album. I think it's so underrated and it's so good. I was like, ugh, I wish they sang more songs off that album. And ever since then, I wasn't able to attend that tour because of some stuff. But ever since then, I've been to every single tour. I've been to the Remember This. I've been to the
Yeah.
5 nights, the one night 5 albums.
Yeah.
Been
The
to,
last tour. Yeah.
yeah, and they were so good. And ever since then, I watched a documentary which is so good, and I had actually I wasn't planning at all on going to the Vegas show because I had seen them twice already. But my cousin was like, "Hey, like I really want to see them, and I don't know like when's the next time they'll be here." And I was like, "You know what? Let's just go." And it was last minute too. We booked it, and I'm so thankful that we did. I can't believe it's been a week already.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
yeah, well, that's the thing for those that don't know. Like, what's been cool about this tour has been the fact that they kind of switch up the set list every night. I mean, there's
Yes.
staples, but then there's also been, well, what is the intro song going to be? Or who are the special guests going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they going to completely extend? There's a part where they do like fan requests. Is that going to be longer? Is that going to be shorter? What are the fan requests going to be? So it's kind of like been, are they going to just randomly play new music? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
they're
it's like
constantly
it
recording
leaves you,
music.
and like every show is different. It's not the same, and I love that. That it makes it like it's like okay, what song are they gonna do? Is this song here? Is this song not? Is there gonna be special guests? Is there gonna be Nick solo? Is it gonna be Joe solo? Like it makes you wanna keep going to these shows because you never know what you're gonna get.
Well, yeah, and also like Kevin has new music on solo music. Like
Yes.
it's just it's been fun to watch, and it's also been like I've been following it for a lot of people like online. A lot of lovely fans have been doing like live streams on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So that like it's been great to watch that way. But I was just like, I want to see it live. So when it came,
Yes.
and I was able to grab a last minute ticket, it aligned with my work schedule, and I went to Vegas last week. I was just like happy to be there. But what was funny is that they had a couple of like fan events. There was like a pre party that I wasn't sure I wasn't going to make because I was driving in from Phoenix. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to go. Well, of course, how we met in a Instagram chat
Yeah.
with a big group of people. And so I was trying to meet up with people. And I remember we were outside of Nelly's, which is the family Jonas restaurant that's in MGM Grand, right by the venue. It was like everything was so like convenient. That's what it was great. Um, I'm just standing there because we had heard or saw that Franklin, who's also their little brother, who's also opening for him, which is great that it's a whole family affair. But
Right? And when the whole fam goes on stage, ugh,
yeah,
cry
so
every time.
I'm standing there talking to fans, and I look up, and Kenny G walks by, and this is before the show. And I've been a Kenny G fan probably longer than you have been alive, but I also am a saxophonist, so I grew up listening to his music
That's so
like
cool.
my whole life. And I like started and the friend like some other friends like Gina and stuff were standing there like, what's going on? I was like, that's Kenny G. He's gonna be the special guest because for those that don't know that haven't seen the Jonas Christmas movie and heard the soundtrack, he's featured on their single Coming Home for Christmas. So I was like, holy shit. And I was just like, was not expecting that. So I kind of knew prior to when we got into the show who one of the special guests was going to be. I didn't realize the rest of it, but that's been exciting too. Is the fact that like they've just been pulling guests left and right, and when you think you've predicted one, maybe
Yes.
you haven't predicted the other, or vice versa. So that's been cool to watch. Is like who's going to be the special guest, and if it's and like how do you like the thing is a lot of there's been a lot of guests from that era of my childhood that they've had on because again like I said I'm like the same age as Kevin and older than Joe and Nick, so it's like I'm in the demographic of like when they brought out Yellow Card or they bring out Jesse McCartney or they bring out all these artists, but it's worked like Plain White Tees a couple times and all these
Mm-hmm.
artists that it's like you wouldn't think, but they just, hey, would you like to come out? And then like they've been coming out. I think it's been good for the industry because it's like because their tour is so successful, it's helping these other artists be like back in
Yeah,
the yeah.
yeah. I feel like this tour has definitely given them more popularity, and it has expanded like them to a whole new group of people, as well as they are reintroducing or introducing some of us younger fans to some bigger artists of their generation. Like
Yeah.
at the LA show, the surprise guest was 5 seconds of summer. Like you would have never thought that 5 seconds of summer would be on tour with the Jonas Brothers. Like,
Yeah, and now
how?
and they played an additional couple shows in
Yes,
the
I
last
saw
couple
that.
weeks. So it's just it's cool. But I would have never thought that like Kenny G would collaborate like with Jonas Brothers, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. Did you get a chance to go to the pre-party or because I ended
No,
up at the after party, but not the
I
pre-party.
ended up at the after party too, but not the pre party.
Okay. Yeah, there was just too much going on.
Yeah, I was too tired. I was like, I need a little nap before the show.
Yeah. Awesome. So, where were your seats? I was like the lower bowl.
Uh, I was on floor actually.
Nice.
Yes, I was on floor. I've seen them. That had been my fifth time seeing them. So, but it was the very first time that I've been like so close that I've been on floor. So I was like freaking out. But I was like, oh my gosh, like I cannot believe I'm here. Like I'm on floor. It felt so like surreal to me that I'm this close
Yeah.
to this band I love so much. And it's just like, I told my cousin, I'm like, am I dreaming? Like, am I really like this close? She was like, no, yeah, like they're right there.
Well, there really wasn't a bad seat.
No,
I wasn't sure, like, because I grabbed mine last minute and I had seen like other options, and I was like, well, but I mean, I was like lower bowl, but lower in the bowl, so I was like right over floor, basically. That the way they had the stage, and they
yes,
come, I have that long walkway, and then they go back and forth. There's really not a bad seat.
there's not.
Like but what's funny about the way this tour was, as opposed to the last staging, is that even though it is big and theatrical, and they have the bridge that replicates the bridge, like one of the bridges they go to from Jersey to New York. Can't remember the name of it at this moment, but that, and then the backdrop is that it also feels simplistic compared to the last stage. The last stage was like,
I love how like
yeah,
simple it is.
yeah, and it didn't need as much like I don't know. They have pyro and stuff, but like for certain moments, and it's been just about kind of the music and having a good time in the interactions. Um, and they've been all over the place with interviews and podcasts. Like Kevin was on another podcast yesterday, like talking about how backwards became like the anthem this year,
It really did.
and how for those that haven't been to a show or haven't paid attention, Joe will come out in the audience and like sing to somebody in the floor and get the crowd going louder, because like on social media it became a trend where everybody was using backwards since August, and Joe or whoever, probably Joe, but kept commenting on everybody's videos louder. So now it's just become this like anthem that they're talking about that they never thought was going to be a single. They were like, yeah, it's on the album, but I don't think we're going to release it. And it became a single because everybody loves it so much. It's a great track. So it's like,
It really is.
yeah. And so were you near that interaction on the floor?
No. So I was more towards like the end of the floor, but I was still pretty close. So I was on floor F, and there's like A,
Um,
B, C, and D. So I was a little bit further away, but I was still on the floor, and oh no, but still I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be me one day.
oh yeah. So it's been great. Another thing I want to talk about, other than Kenny G coming out, not only did he perform Coming Home with Christmas. He was like the special, but then afterwards he did he did My Heart Will Go On, his cover of My Heart, and we all erupted for that. But I want to go back to what a lot of people are talking about is Nick debuted new music because he has a new album coming out,
Yes.
and not only and my favorite version of Jealous is the gospel version with the choir. He did that, so I've seen that. It made my
We
life.
got spoiled, I will say.
Yeah, um, it's the superior version of that song, hands down, is the gospel version
Hmm.
with the live choir. So he did that, and he also did a new song, two new songs from his new album, Sunday Best. I Need You, which was with the choir, so why the choir was out there. But then Gut Punch, which is now his like everybody's responding to. Um, but hearing that first, like if you watch the videos, go on social media, people. But if you watch the videos, there's like a part where it's like a huge drum hit, like the Gut Punch. I felt like it shook the building.
It did, right?
Yeah, we all were like, "Whoa!"
Whoa.
And then watching Nick perform it the way he did just hit us all. We were all kind of like in this like, "What is happening right now?" I felt like, well, I don't know, what was it, 10, 15,000 people in that place were just like locked in
I
because
think I saw it was like 17 almost.
17, yeah.
Yeah, 17,000. That's insane to me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, is I think people don't realize is that this part of the tour wasn't, tour was originally supposed to end November 14th or
Hmm?
something.
November 14th.
Yeah, and then they added more dates and they've been selling out every night. Like they have a show tonight in Orleans, like as we're recording this in New Orleans. So it's like I think what's been great is the fact that they've changed the shows this entire tour and added guests. It's made it even more popular and more people want to come out or more people want to go to audition shows like we said before because right now touring is interesting in the music industry of like can you sustain touring? So
Yeah.
it's been fun to watch just how people are like surprised and then curious. I'm finding that there, multi generations of people are going to the shows. So like,
Hmm.
and older people and younger people, and even people that maybe weren't fans before are now fans.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool because it's like it showed the evolution of them as like the Jonas Brothers, but also like the fact that they're including their solo stuff in the mix,
Mhm.
and it's not like there has to be like a separation with it.
I
Um,
took my sister to two shows and she's 10. So like it's like generations and like are going out, you see these fans that are older taking their kids, and then you see someone like go with their parents, so it's like the parents, the grandkids, and their kids, and it's just like it's a full circle moment for not just them, but for the brothers as well. Because it's like, damn, like we really been doing this for this long that now these fans get to pass down their love of our music to their kids, and
yeah,
then their kids to their kids. So it's so fun to see how to see, and I feel like this tour just feels so much more personal and so interactive with
yeah,
like all of us than the other ones.
I agree. And I think a special moment that we also got was the whole family coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, which is like the encore, they do Please Be Mine and Would You Look Me in the Eyes? And during Would You Look Me in the Eyes, it's the story of like they wrote it with their father. So he'll come out. He's been on this tour, many shows, playing, singing, and then they were bringing, of course, Franklin out because he's already there because he's, one of the opening acts. But then they've been bringing their mother out on recent shows because do sign language because that's how they met, like in Bible college and did some stuff. So seeing that moment was great because that's happened a lot of shows, but it's not happening every shows. So we also had that moment where the entire family came out and we heard Kevin Jonas Sr. sing part of the song, which he hasn't always done throughout the tour. So there was just something about the Vegas show. I mean, maybe it was because the first show after the Thanksgiving break, it was 2 days later, and they had the family restaurant in Vegas. So like the whole family was like, "Let's all go to Vegas," but it was just very like it was cool. It was. I
Yeah.
didn't. I knew I was gonna have a good time, but I didn't know all these special moments were gonna be included, and what just made it better.
It's been my favorite show I've been to this far. Like, ugh, it's been so good. Like, I was bawling listening to Gut Punch because it's so personal and so like true that I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm so
Yeah,
excited for the next album.
yeah. I was sad I couldn't snag a ticket to the Sunday brunch he had
I
because it
know, me
sold out in
too.
like a minute. But
It did, right? It sold out fast.
well, the thing is like I knew it was going on sale, but I was at work at the time, and then I got busy, and I forgot to look at my reminder. I did. I think I just, and by the time I saw it come through, and I went to the link, sold out, and I was like, darn. And then I was like, well, maybe somebody the tickets will come up, and then I was seeing just like the excitement while we were in Vegas that day, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. It's because there's gonna so many other people want to go, and it was a limited, only 150 people plus the family and the crew were there, so it was like, yeah, of course, hard to get into that. But then seeing all everybody's videos that did get into it and being like, it sounds amazing. So, and hearing the backstories, a little bit of the backstory of their songs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We also had JP Sachs again as a special, who also apparently has helped Mick with his album. So now we know why he was earlier in the tour a special guest, and then he was also a special guest during the two new songs. I think what people are realizing it, and actually, in the podcast on the Zach Sane show for Kevin said this that I watched yesterday. Kevin's even mentioned he's like for a while he thinks that like the name and the marketing of Jonas Brothers was bigger than the music, and now people are realizing like how talented they are in their band. Like I think it's a full circle moment because again, like I said, when I was younger, the marketing wasn't great for me to be a fan the first time around in my age bracket. But come now in modern time, like modern present time, I'm in because the music's so good and I can go back and listen to it and be like, oh, I would have liked this back then had it not been so like Disney coded. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's like, I even watched the Camp Rock movies because back in the day I never did. And I watched them recently. I'm like, obviously they're Disney movies, but it's like, they're better than I thought they were going to be. Like, and I think that's the problem. There was always like those years of bad press kind of towards them, especially when the whole purity rings thing. I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah, I do.
there was always like negativity towards them industry wide. But come now, I think they're finally like getting the respect they deserve. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree. I feel like because like they were part of the Disney, I mean, they still are, but like they had the Camp Rock and then they had their show and then they would wear like those rings, which then to to, to them like it meant something, but to like the fans or to the public, like they thought it would be funny to like joke with them about that. So I feel like for so long they weren't acknowledged for how talented they are because it was always, oh, they're Disney kids, oh, they're abstaining from sex and they're this and they're too holy, and it was always like this negativity that I feel that was surround them rather than the positivity. And I have heard fans say that back in the day they were too scared to admit that they were Jonas Brothers fans because of the fear of being bullied, like, oh, you're like those virgins, you're like that band, like they're so Disney, which I don't think is fair at all. But now I'm so seeing them step out of that phase and people start to realize they're they're like so beyond, like, amazing. And it's not just the music but like in everything that they do. It's like, and now that they're back to Disney, seeing people actually excited that
Yeah,
they're back rather than making fun of them but being on Disney is like a whole full circle moment.
Agreed. And I think it's also because it's us millennials now. We're getting old, but we're all that demographic of like, I've always felt this. Like, I don't believe in the word guilty pleasure. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life is like, you like what you like, you don't like what you like. Like,
Exactly.
don't. And I think now people are realizing, yeah, I can like what I like, and maybe I didn't like them before, different reasons, but now I'm older, I can just embrace it. And I think that's also what's the energy in the room collectively and the fans. I don't know. It was insane. Everybody was having a great time, and even people that you thought, I don't know. I go to a lot of shows. I've been to a lot of concerts, and sometimes when you get in and you get to your seats, and as people are arriving during the opening act, whether depending, you can kind of look around and you're kind of wondering if like the people around you are gonna like enjoy it. Because I've been to a lot of concerts where they try to ruin my fun, well, because like something around, like the people aren't enjoying it, or the people were forced to be there, or they were dragged there, so they were just like in this bad kind. But I felt last week, maybe it's the sign of the times, but I felt like everybody in that arena was having a great time, even people that
Yes.
weren't sure they were going to have a good time. Like they went or they went with friends or family and they were like, okay, well, maybe we're here. And I felt as the night went on between when Franklin went on, well, and Delisa went on, to Franklin, to Jesse McCartney, and to them when they were on, it was just everybody was having a good time. And then we got all these surprises and it just kept going. Like
Yeah.
it was it was great. And plus we had the holiday Jonas con.
Yeah.
So like,
Did did you go to that?
well, I did a little bit. Like we went in early, we walked around, we went through it, but because they had it in the arena as opposed to where they've had it, I guess in other cities it's been outdoors prior to. I mean, I didn't have the highest expectations, but I also was a little disappointed just because it was just like this little section of the arena and they had some installation. It was cool. They had new merch and all that stuff, but it was not like, I guess, photos and videos that I saw, like, what was it, in Buffalo 2 weeks ago, or in that, where they had it, or was it
Yeah.
Jersey or something, where they had it where they had like food trucks and there was just a little bit, they had more room because they were outside. So I think it's not their fault. They had it inside, it's Vegas. How are they going to have it outside? We're in a casino, the MGM Grand. But I think because of where they had it, we just kind of walked through the people I was with, and then we kind of like got our snacks or whatever, and then kind of found where we were seating. So it's kind of like it was cool. I'm glad people were there. There was a lot of like radio station contests winners, I guess, that were got to go in early. And it was cool. It's festive. It's, the holiday season. They even redid the stage starting with our show to now include holiday themes. So, but did you get a chance to go to Jonas Con in
I
there?
did not. I was getting ready. I take forever to get ready. So I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. But I also was like, we went super early and we were standing in line because we went and saw Franklin do his out acoustic unplugged set
Oh, that's nice.
prior to the venue. So we were that's where kind of like it was like right after we I guess they were doing sound check because that's when we almost ran into Kenny G outside. But we saw Franklin's acoustic unplugged set. But then we were all kind of like, do we go do something? Whatever. Everybody was kind of in that area, so we just got in line. So we were sitting in line for the venue, then for a while, just hanging out, and then they let us in the doors, the first doors. But then we were standing in line before they let us into the doors again for a while. So by the time you got in and everybody kind of scattered and you were going to JonasCon, it was more lines. And I was like, I just kind of want to get my stuff and get to my seat because we had been standing for so long already. So it was kind of,
Yeah.
I think that was it too. We were kind of like, well, yes, but do we want to stand in more lines to look at the merch? Do we want to stand in more line? Like, you know what I mean? So it was kind of, we just kind of walked through and said, this is great. And then went to our seats. So
I did bump into Kevin though, so that was so fun.
tell me that story.
Okay, well, not like so. My cousin and I went to to lunch, and then after lunch, we were like, okay, let's go walk and see how far the arena is from our room. So we go and we're walking and everything, and then on the way back to our room, there's like this little it's like this little room with a casino in there, and it's like
Oh
private,
yeah,
but
like
the
the
door
high
was
roller room. We're
yes,
like,
but
yeah,
yeah, but the door was open, and there's a guy standing there, and I don't think much of it, so I'm just turning, and as I turn my head, it's Kevin Jonas, and then I'm like, that's Kevin, and he looked at me, and I just smiled, and I was like, hi, and he smiled back, and then I just like I looked at my cousin, and I was like, that's Kevin. She didn't believe me. I was like, that's Kevin. She was like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. And then she went back and she checked and was like, it is Kevin. And I was like, I told you it was Kevin. I'm like, I can spot a
yeah.
Jonas for a
That's
moment.
about the
No
time
way.
I had met up with Gina and some of the people from the chat, or like
Yeah.
I was at the food
Yes.
court getting a snack, and you guys put in, "Hey, we just met Kevin," and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah. And it was like so surreal. And then as we're walking, he came back after encountering Kevin. We bumped into Papa Jonas, and I was like, what is going on? And then after we bumped into Big Rob, so I'm just bumping into all these people, and I'm just like, huh? Like, is this really like real?
Well, it's Vegas, and if
Yeah, exactly.
everybody's in MGM Grand and staying there, which
Yeah,
a lot of us were, it was bound to happen. Because
yeah,
I've
but
gone,
I did
but
not believe.
it's just you never know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Everyone's like, I bumped into Franklin. I bumped into Jesse. I was like, yeah, but then, so when I saw, I didn't think I was gonna bump into nobody. But so when I saw Kevin, I was like, oh my god, I like got starstruck. That was like, but that's Kevin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it felt so surreal. And then we went back, and he was gone. So I think he was like, "Damn, I've been spotted. I gotta go."
Or they just ran out of time. I mean,
Maybe.
like they had soundtrack to do and get ready for the show, so I'm sure like their window of hanging out and gambling in Vegas was short. Um, but even then, though, they were in the special room though. It wasn't they weren't in like the big
No.
casino, so
Yeah.
it was still private. Basically,
Yeah.
you just caught him right when he was like in and out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, he still like acknowledged and like give you the nod.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I think it's funny that your cousin was like, "No, you didn't," and you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah. I was like, yes, it is.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, overall, like everybody was, I don't know. I was happy for everybody to have like a good time and have moments like that
Yeah.
where that was the thing for me. It was Kenny G. I was like, what? Um, and everybody else was like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's Kenny G. And I think I kind of freaked him out because I kind of said it kind of loud, but um, at least, I mean, I didn't ask him for a selfie and now I'm kind of regret it, but oh well. Um, it was still great to witness. And just all around Vegas was just like I'd have to say like I've watched pretty much every night on TikTok if I can,
Me too.
and there's been great shows, but there was something about Las Vegas last week and the fact that I was able to make it last minute, get a ticket, get
I have
travel up
seen
there.
it. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people say Vegas, like something about the Vegas show just hit different.
Yeah, and maybe it was all the special performances and guests, and I don't know. It was just I've been to like I say I go to a lot. It's my hobby to go to a lot of shows and do music and stuff, and the vibes were just great. And I think what's even better this time around is just how I think it's only, they're already being acknowledged for 20 years in that,
Right? Yeah.
which is crazy. but there's still so much more. And I think, like, I just don't know how they're going to tap this tour, but they're going to have to somehow. I don't, whether they, like, the next, I don't know. I mean, Kevin let it slip yesterday on this podcast. They've already recorded 30 more songs and they have a new, they're already like, they have a new album. I'm like, how did you do that? Plus film Camp Rock 3, plus
You
do all the press you're doing in between the shows.
Exactly.
How
It's
I don't even know how they're standing at this point. Their schedule is exhausting me, and I don't even have that crazy of a schedule. So it's like I just got to work and do my stuff here. So I'm just
right. Yeah. Also, I don't understand how like we have these multiple fans, which I'm happy for that are able to go to all of these shows. But I'm just like, how like you're not tired? Like I'm exhausted after one.
yeah,
How you have like the energy to travel to all of these?
yeah. Not only that, it's like them themselves, like the band, the crew.
Their band is amazing.
Yeah,
I love the energy that their band gives off. They're just so happy to be there.
yeah. I mean, I love. I mean, the horn section and Fabian, who's the head.
Fabian, amazing.
Yeah. So like half the time I'm like watching the band more than I'm watching the brothers on stage because it's just like so entertaining, like across the board. It's like, how do you I don't know. And the fact that they can pretty much play every song and they have hundreds of songs. Um, that's even cool. There's a lot of artists that are touring right now that can do a section where they're like, hey, just request a song.
That's what I was gonna say. I definitely feel like they changed the way artists tour. I
They're gonna
feel like,
have to.
yeah, because not many artists will stop halfway and ask the fans what they want to listen to.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
there
many
has been
artists.
other artists
Yeah,
that have done it, and they got the ID from. They said they went to like a Garth Brooks concert, and he does it. And there are a few, but I mean, going forward, if artists don't really like have that interaction, people are kind of going to be like, this is kind of different because they've kind of set the bar pretty high of like,
yeah,
what do you want to hear? Or even just the fact that how funny Joe is and he interacts with people.
yes.
Now Kevin and Nick have, like, what was it, the other night in Fort Worth? Oh, but by the way, these signs that people are bringing in have gotten so elaborate. And how are they getting these in? Because my
I
question is like, they sent out the thing of like, you can only bring this certain size of paper or whatever, or sign. And some people are bringing in, this girl in Fort Worth the other night brought in tongs and an operation board. And I'm just like, and then it became a whole thing, and now it's going viral on TikTok because
I
these
had
people are
seen
cute.
that they
And I'm like, how do
fold
you,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
how do you get that in through security? Like, that's what I want to know.
Yes, I saw that too. I saw what one she bought like a mini basketball hoop and was like, Joe, shoot
For
your
sure.
shot.
Yeah.
How do you guys like? How does your vent let you guys bring this in? Like, how do you guys sneak them in?
Yeah, that's what I was like. How do you get it in past security? Way bigger. Like there was like a couple weeks ago, somebody brought in a dartboard. These fan request signs that people bring in on the floor, and you can bring it anywhere, but most of the time they're only going to see it on the floor.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the tour to now, have gotten so elaborate. And it's always games, and because of that, the guys are like, "Oh, we want to play a game," and so like now everybody's trying to one up each other to get noticed of like because there's been like stuff from like The Price is Right. There was a dartboard that Kevin wanted to play, and like there was all this like
There's the deal or no deal.
yeah, there
Like
was a deal or no deal.
the Vegas one was so smart. The gambling one.
Yeah,
I was like, how are people not only bringing these in, but getting like these ideas, you know?
right. Well, I mean, creativity. Shout out to everybody for creativity. But my question is like, none of this is supposed to be able to be brought in. So it's like either they're I don't know. I haven't done a VIP with whatever VIP, but like I know they get in early and they go to a different lounge and then they get to their escorted to their seats or whatever. But even then, how like it's against a lot of these signs are bigger than the venue allow. I don't know. I have questions because I was just kind of
But
like,
I respect them.
yeah.
Respect.
But I'm like, how do you get in with a lot of these signs? Anyway, it's worked because now we're all talking about it and we've seen them on TikTok or something.
And
But
now everyone's like it. Oh, and I feel like what really helps or what really like encourage people is that Joe himself said it that he loves the signs. So
yeah,
that now everyone is like trying to one up to be that lucky fan that Joe chooses.
yeah. I wonder if he kind of regrets that statement because in the beginning of the tour, there was a couple signs that had like funny sayings, nutty sayings, and Joe went online. I think it was when they were doing Fenway Park
Yeah.
before the show, and somebody in the chat goes, "Well, what do you think about the signs?" And Joe was like, "I love them all. I love naughty signs. I love all of them signs. I don't understand why people are arguing over the fact that like they shouldn't be funny signs." So now I've seen some really funny signs, and it's funny they acknowledge it every time. Like, there's signs we can't say out loud, and it's like because this is a family show, and I'm just kind of like, but you encouraged it. So like,
Yeah.
had you not said that, you
Right.
wouldn't be doing it. So it's like one of those things where it's just been
Yeah. And it's like everyone's like, okay, like let's see which sign he picks.
yeah. And then also during the thing has been during Cake by the Ocean, everybody brings a hat now for Joe to
Yeah.
choose. Or when they do the coming home for Christmas, all the like holiday hats and him just like putting hats on everything. I mean, there's just been so many moments that like we as fans pay attention to, but also because of social media, it's been easier and technology to be like, oh, that happened. So funny. Which makes every show different because it's like, oh, what hat did he choose? Who got a request in or a couple requests in? What were
Hmm.
the like? Are you following Haley, the girl on TikTok
Yes.
that's tracking every night?
Yeah.
And it's like a whole spreadsheet and everything. And then the
Yes.
guys, Kevin saw it first, I guess, and then Joe. And then he commented on her post a couple times about like, oh, okay. And then when she went to her shows in Ohio, Cleveland
He
and
got. Yeah,
Columbus,
he
they
got.
chose her because she had a sign like, "Oh, you're the one tracking." And then she got to go the next show, got to go meet them, and I mean, I just that's been crazy too. Is the fan interaction in between the shows of like something viral or something sticking out within like a fan doing something, and then inevitably, like the girl that started the backwards trend,
Yes, I was just about to say that the one that started it backwards. I believe her name is like
Kalani. Yeah,
Kelani, something like that. Yeah, her to see her start a trend to then full on meet the brothers and be like on TV with them when they're streaming the shows on Samsung TV.
yeah.
Yes, like to see where her TikTok about her is like so amazing to me that like they recognize their fans.
Yeah, I think that's been awesome. I've never been so happy for all these fans to get
Yeah.
the interaction because it's like so organic. But
Mm-hmm.
also it shows that Joe and the team and it's rubbed off recently on Kevin and Nick are so perpetually online, which I don't know how they can fit that in their schedule. Where they're like, Joe's chronically online. And I'm like, how? Like, speaking of, during like the week before Vegas, like a couple weeks ago, I was in TikTok lives watching the show. He goes backstage during Jealous when Nick's
I
on and
saw that.
joins
And he
these TikTok
joins
lives, and
the
everybody's like,
TikTok live.
from backstage, you're like, what is happening?
Yes, I was on that live too. I was like, Joe? I'm
Yeah,
like, you really can't put your phone away for not even like,
your
to,
brother's on stage right now. Like,
yeah,
what is happening?
like, go get ready.
Yeah, we're all like, well, I think we're all just kind of like, Joe, we like that you're paying attention, but that's a little too much. Like, that was fun. I mean, it's great. And now what's happening though from that is that now people during every live or trying to get him in the lives. And it's like, I mean, it was funny the first couple times, but
Yeah.
like, let him be ready for the show. He has to come right back out and perform again.
Yeah.
That was funny. Like, that's the things like have just popped up that have been fun, but also just been surprising because you're just like, dude, you're backstage right now. Like, why are you in our live? It's funny, but it also shows that like maybe they want to see it from our perspective too,
Yeah.
and kind of that helps them be like, because they're not able to watch themselves. That makes sense. I mean, until afterwards, obviously, but like, yeah, I don't know. And it's been great with the Samsung TV Plus, which I didn't realize the very first show, the MetLife one, because I have a Samsung tablet and I didn't think to watch it then because I was either busy or didn't think I got it. But what's cool is that they're going to be doing a New Year's show, which is going
Hmm.
to be streamed. I'm curious if it's going to be the same show though, because technically the tour ends on the 22nd,
I think it is.
and then if there's all this new music from Nick, apparently Joe has even more music with DNCE.
Yeah.
And then Kevin's like, well, maybe I'll release more music. I have a couple more. So, like, that's what you said on the podcast yesterday. I was like,
And then
I cannot keep up.
yes, and then yesterday, not, and then a few days ago, I don't know if you saw the video where Nick was talking about possibly performing at the Sphere, and he was like, not saying that.
Yes. I mentioned that to, I was talking to Gina in Vegas and we were standing there
Yeah.
having our snacks at the food court. And I go, wouldn't it be funny if they played the Sphere one day? And then I'd definitely be back. We were joking about it. And then that interview, the people interviewed this week, and they made that. But the thing is like, I don't think it's set in stone, but I think by it being released in the inner and then seeing if it would go viral in the press and
I think
online,
it's
it will
definitely
help them. That was their being
yes.
like, can we play the Sphere soon? Like, we'll bring in fans. Do you not see? Like,
Yeah, like if they do, I guess I'm gonna have to go back because I'm not
yeah,
missing that.
I'm
I
not missing
will
that
be
either.
there. Like
Like,
that's
could you
one of my
imagine year
goals.
3000 in the Sphere?
Yes.
That's insane. Like, insane.
Burning Up, Love Book, like I love those classics in like the Sphere. That's gonna be amazing.
Like, I was, full disclosure, I was supposed to go to the Sphere twice in the last year, like last year for, because I'm in electronic dance music too, so they were having some events. But I couldn't with work and personal stuff going on. But I mean, if they announce a residency, because I mean, I'm not a Backstreet Boys fan, even though I grew up with them. It's a long story, but I didn't. I've seen pictures of that. I've seen picture of course, U2, um, whoever like Eagles have played. They're like, it looks amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but. And I kind of was like okay with missing out in the last couple weeks, the last year, going to some other opportunities. But if they announce a residency at the Sphere, I'm so go. There's because their music and their performance in their shows are already great, but could you the level of creativity that can happen in the, and what I've heard too about the Sphere is that it's also such a great, it's made for music, and apparently no matter where you are in the Sphere, you can, the sound is amazing. So like if that happens, I think that's going to break records because
Yeah.
I mean all these other residencies have been great in selling out, but I think theirs will, because
I think
even people that aren't fans that aren't going to this tour, I've kind of
yeah.
seen some online people, they're curious now. So
Yes.
they'll want to like kind of be in the know because now it's like cool, like, oh, the Jonas Brothers. I guess I'm a fan. And so it came full circle of like,
Yeah. I also feel like there's people that go to their shows not being a fan that leave being a fan, and then
yeah,
it's like, tell me more, and they get like interested, and then they start to like vibe out, and now they're like, okay, I get the hype. So now imagine that in the Sphere, like it'd be amazing.
yeah, awesome. Well, we could probably talk about this for hours, but you
Oh yeah, I can go on and on.
know. Well, thanks, Kelly, for being on this episode. I enjoy. We might have
Thank
to
you
do it
so
more.
much for having me. It's been so fun.
Yeah, and definitely, uh, yeah, go Vegas, I guess. Awesome. So where can people find you on social media?
My Instagram is at kk.kelly with 3 Ys. And then my TikTok is kk.kelly as well, but just with 1 Y.
Awesome.
That's pretty much it.
I'll put them down for people to link.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming, and
Thank you so
thanks
much.
everybody for listening and watching wherever you are. And have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.